Those stories that shape our lives and dissect the issues that keep us awake at night. That's not all. The Morning Crossfire is your platform too. Your thoughts, your opinions, they all have a place right here. From politics to business and the economy, from the social issues to the heart of the city. I'll be your companion, your source of information, and your partner in exploration. And it's just not about the headlines. It's about the conversations we have, the connections we make, and the impact we create. Your insights matter, your questions matter, and your energy matters. So whether you're in traffic, having breakfast, or starting your workday, I'll be right here, keeping you informed and engaged. So Lagos, stay tuned, set your alarms, and mark your calendars, and let's kickstart mornings together, right here on the Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info and Kofi Bartels. Let's talk.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info, your mic is always on.
Live from the heart of Victoria Island, you're listening to your number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, Lagos, welcome back. Still the Morning Crossfire right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Today's Democracy Day. Nothing much happening. Yesterday we heard from Bayo Nanuga. Mr. President is going to address a joint session of the National Assembly today. And the same yesterday we heard from another spokesperson for the president. That information is not correct. The presidency was not informed about the decision and all that, so it's not happening. It's just going to, we don't know what's going on. Well, today we did our bit to talk about Nigeria's democracy, performance of the 1 year of in 1 year of Bola Tinubu as president of Nigeria. We did that yesterday. Today we want to look at Labour. Give others space to talk about democracy after 25 years. And we will just talk about Labour this morning. So bear with us, yeah? Bear with us. I think it's important because the tripartite committee on national minimum wage sat yesterday and they couldn't come to an agreement. We want to look at the private sector and what stake the private sector has in this new national minimum wage. I'm glad to say we have on the line joining us the Chairperson of the Nigerian Labour Congress in Lagos State, Comrade Oluwafunmilayo, Sesi-Akinsanmi. And she joins us via phone. Madam, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning.
All right.
Good morning to all Nigerians.
All right. Madam Fumi Sesi Akinsanmi was, I think you were chairman of ASU before you moved on to become chairperson of the NLC. Am I correct, madam?
No. Chairperson of SANU, Senior Staff Association of Nigeria University.
Madam, you can, yes. Sorry about that. SANU also sometimes it confuses me. Okay, for those of you listening, a lot of some listeners have been asking, the national minimum wage when it comes, it will favor only government workers. It will favor only government workers. What is it for the private sector? And so we want to look at that this morning, and of course, take Madam's thought on this. If you'd like to call, for those of you listening, please store these numbers and use them to call in and have your say. 0201 277 0993, 0201 277 1993, 0201 277 2993, 0201 277 3993. My name is Kofi Bartels. This is a Morning Crossfire. As Nigeria's current minimum wages is 30,000 naira. That tripartite committee involving the government, labor, and organized private sector is negotiating to arrive at a new minimum wage that will be acceptable to all. Yesterday, we heard Labour walked out of the meeting. Madam, why did Labour walk out of the meeting? Please just tell us officially.
Thank you very much. The Labour is still, struggling or battling to get a government to see reasons why we should have a decent minimum wage. We know that the government cannot fulfill their campaign promise of giving us a living wage. But as that may be, let us have a decent living wage that is commensurate with the socio-economic reality on ground in Nigeria currently. The era of 30,000 naira has expired since April this year. And that 30,000 naira, we agreed that at that particular year, 5 years ago, when we acceded or accepted that 30,000 naira offer, the economic reality then could, the 30,000 could, be managed,
All right.
at that time. But with the current reality now, what the government is still offering us is very far from what we'll be able to take out a worker home in a month. It's still very, very far. So, and that is why we are looking at that gap that is very wide. Government should, bridge the gap, offer something that is reasonable, because most of the workers in the private sector, some of them, their employers have even done so well, you understand. So they are not going to be left behind.
All right.
Both in the public and in the private sector, NSC is negotiating critically for them.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So federal government started from 48,000 naira, then went down to 55,000 naira, and then went down to 54,000 naira, and then went up to 57,000 naira, and then they added 3,000 naira yesterday when the meeting resumed to be 60,000 naira. And they went above what organized private sector is offering, which is 57,000 naira, which they matched at the last meeting previous Wednesday. Labor was at 497,000 naira. Said, okay, federal government, you added 3,000 naira. We're also stepping ours down by 3,000 naira. As far as you're concerned, before you go, we get to that. What informs Labor's decision or figure rather of 497,000 now 494,000 now? What is it about that? Is it just a number that Labour is putting out just to ensure the federal government at least gets to a figure that is high, or Labour really believes that 615 or 497 or now 494,000 per month is the way it should be?
Not at all. Labour look at some indices, and those indices that we look at and the parameters that we use to calculate, we look at the feeding first, which is very, very important and paramount. If we are talking about Nigeria, we always have a very large family, father, mother, and at least 4 children. I think with this current situation, families will now be reduced to probably father, mother, and 2 children. But that is in the future. But currently, what we are allowed, to move with is father, mother, and 4 children. So if we have to look at it, NLC calculated based on breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the calculation per person is 500 naira per meal,
Okay.
which is 1,500 naira a day.
Okay.
In fact, that 500 naira cannot buy a meal for a 1-year-old child in Nigeria of today. But we still say, let us do starvation feeding. So at the end of the day, with that calculation from NSC, it might still end up that you do 101 or 011 or as it may be. So we calculated based on 1,500 naira per head, 500 meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then when you now multiply 1,005 by 6 people, which will give us around 7 or 9,000 or thereabouts. So we now calculated that one and now multiply it by 30 days, because either Saturday or Sunday we must eat. So we now multiply it, which brings us to about 200 and something thousand naira for feeding.
Did you say 1,005 times how many people, please?
Times 6.
6. Okay, family of 6.
Yes.
Mother, father, and 4 children.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
That's about 7,500 or there.
9,000.
9,000 naira. 9,000, thank you. Then you now multiply 9,000 by 30.
Okay.
So we have about 270,000 naira
Okay.
in a month
Okay.
per family. And everybody will agree that even that 270,000 for a family of 6, they will have to manage it. Because you know what everything is saying in the market now. You want to buy a tuber of yam now, it's about 4,000 naira, a decent one. You want to buy tomatoes now, pepper to cook a pot of soup now for family of 4, you must have like 5,000, 6,000 at once. And that soup is not going to last you more than 3 days. So, and it will be a continuous thing till the end of the month. You want to still buy a bag of rice now, you still know how much that is. Everything has, the prices of goods and services has already gone up. So the employers of labor in the private sector, they too, they have already increased the prices of their goods and their services. They have increased since when the subsidy was removed. Immediately, all the employers of labor, they have already increased the prices of their goods, what they sell, what they do, what they, So for that reason, the salaries of an emolument of those who are working with them too should be commensurate with the economic reality of today. Because if the company is making so much, and then the workers that are doing the work are not happy, then the company, before you know it, will start to have issues and problems. So most of these private companies, immediately the subsidy was removed, they started, making up for their workers so that they are looking for the welfare of their workers. You want to talk about those who work in the oil company?
Okay. So, madam, before I pick maybe a call, I just want to find out. So, this 270,000 naira we're looking at now, which is a very understandable calculation. You said 500 naira.
It's just about the feeding. You have to look about the
accommodation, transportation.
Accommodation, the labor centers even calculated based on room and a parlor.
Okay.
It did not calculate based on flat.
Okay.
If you want to rent a flat in Lagos, you know how much you are going to part with. Because Lagos is a city. So we calculated that at least 40,000 naira every month.
Okay.
Based on room and parlor or self-contained, one room, between room, bathroom and kitchen, based on 40,000 naira per month, which is about 408,000 naira in a year.
Okay, that's 40,000 naira per month.
Per month, which is about 480,000 naira in a year, which is not even visible for you in Lagos. You can never see any accommodation in Lagos for that price again. So, yes. So we also calculated for transportation. We calculated about 40,000 transportation, which is, that one too is a minimal cost. Just the minimal cost. We look at some other things like the social life, education of the children. You have to pay school fees. The children have to go to school. You have to pay for school bus, or you have to do the school run. The children must take care of bus, maybe from where you stay, to and fro. The mother, the father, the children. If you calculate money for their transportation, in fact, so by the time we put everything together, and also you also have to maybe in your community, you pay for security money, come and pay for development levy, come and pay for this money. The church, you also have to balance up. Your socio-economic life, you have to balance it up. Your spiritual life, you have to balance it up. So for everything put together, that was why the NSA arrived at 617,000, which is what will be very okay, as something like a living wage.
Okay.
And by the time you have to, calculate it, like the Committee of Nations, and you put it in dollar rate, it is still less than $500. Still less than $500.
Okay. So even the feeding and accommodation, the one you've given me now, when I add it, it's more than 615,000 naira the labor was asking for.
Exactly. So we started when negotiation starts now, it's about give and take. So you look at it from different perspectives, different arguments, and then you look, okay, let's be reasonable. But what the government is offering is very irritational and very discouraging. Government they should not be selfish, because we look at them that they are very comfortable in their own right. So the workers too, they should think of how they will. Look at what Uganda is paying their workers. Look at some other countries in Africa. So if they're offering us 60,000 naira, how much is that in a dollar? When everything around us about our life is about dollar.
Okay, but madam, I want to ask you to give us how this thing will apply, because of course, in the civil service you have levels, grade level 1, grade level 2, and all that. You know, in the police you have ranks. At different public, service or civil service organizations, you have levels. Obviously, for instance, you who work in the university will not be paid the minimum, the bare minimum. You have, so how will this be applied to each person's level, grade level? Let's say we stay on 60,000 naira, for instance. How will it apply to each person's grade level? Or let's say 100,000 naira per month. How will it apply to each person's grade level in the civil service?
Thank you very much. That minimum level means that whatever your step is, whatever your grade, whatever your job, the minimum for any worker should be set as this amount. You understand? Whether you are a junior worker or you are a senior worker, if Nigeria sets a minimum, that minimum will be applicable. Either you are on level 2, your minimum is so amount of money.
Okay.
In Nigeria currently now, a minimum for any worker, either you are a cleaner, you are a driver, you are this, you are that, a minimum at the point of entry, minimum for the lowest cadre is 30,000 that just expired in April, and we are still now looking for.
I can buy only a 5 kg bag of rice.
As your level, as your grade increases, so there are tables that we use to calculate.
Okay, that should be from the National Salaries and National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, the consolidated, structures and all that.
We have different level of salary grades for different professions.
Okay, madam, I'll come back to you, because I know that we have the Contes, we have the Polytechnics, we have Contes, Conrads. Yes. But I want you to give us
Compass.
NAHAPS, Comps, and all. But I want you to give us just a simple explanation. Maybe when we come back from our advert break, if I'm a university lecturer earning 150,000 naira or 200,000 naira a month, and how will this new minimum wage apply? Let's say it's 100,000 naira minimum wage. How will it apply to me? We'll be right back. We'll be right back to you, madam. Okay, I think I have a minute before the advert. So maybe I'll read some messages. But madam, when we come back, I want you to tell us. Let's say I'm a junior lecturer assistant, and I earn 150,000 naira a month, and then the minimum wage is fixed at 100,000 naira monthly. Okay, or let me say 70,000 naira monthly. How will it apply to me who earns 150,000 naira every month? I want you to think about it. So when we come back from the break, you tell us. Is that okay, madam?
We'll try.
Okay. So we can understand. And then we'll talk about also private sector, which constitutes most of our listeners. For those of you listening, we have the chairperson of the Nigeria Labour Congress in Lagos State. And she's our guest this morning Crossfire, Madam Oluwafunmilayo Sesi. She joins us via phone call, and we'll be back after this commercial break. Please do stay with us. Madam Oluwafunmilayo Sesi-Akinsanmi. We'll be right back.
What takes a plate of jollof rice to the next level of goodness? Is it when it is cooked with no seasoning cubes for that sumptuous taste? Or when you serve it with correct Nigerian salad, cabbage, carrot, lettuce, and a bit of kidney beans?
It's both. Season your jollof with the rich taste of Knorr cubes and serve with plenty of vegetables. So go ahead and elevate your meals. Today, eat for good.
We fit protect your car, your savings.
Abeg, make you no let her dey boring. Make we make insurance we lifestyle. You don't ever hungry, you say make your insurance give you pass wetin you dey collect. Make you no shake body at all, because na good hands you dey with Health Insurance Group. Come even join with boku insurance coverage. You fit also enjoy free awoof like chance to fit network up to 10% discount for hotels, gyms, spas, and for that your store where you like for the shop. Tickets to enter show events, plus free materials to carry plan your tomorrow. So next time when person ask you wetin your insurance company you to give yourself. Your answer supposed to be with Health Insurance Group. Of course, it plenty pass just insurance.
To follow chop all these, sign up onto www.healthinsurancegroup.com. That na HEIRS. Here's Insurance Group. Simple life day here.
New Lafarge water shoot cement now confirm.
Hey, Oga, we don ready to start the foundation.
Say everything don set?
Yes, sir. Wetin remain now na to buy granite, sand, iron rods, concrete blocks, cement and...
Engineer, wait. Which kind cement una wan use? Tell me.
Na the normal cement, sir.
Sure? Una wan use normal cement for site wey waterlog? Haba! You never hear about Lafarge Water Shield? The new waterproof cement wey no dey let yamayama water wahala spoil house for waterlog area?
Sir.
Put full stop for water wahala for your building. If you wan build house for waterlog area, the correct cement for you na the new Lafarge Water Shield. Lafarge Water Shield na the ogbonge power waterproof cement wey dem formulate for areas wey get water wahala. Lafarge na confirm cement. New Lafarge Water Shield cement na confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
If you get the big dreams to do big things, lonely day with red money. If you get the big dreams to do big things, lonely day with red money. If you get the big dreams.
Get loans of up to 7 million naira on Rain Money. Call 0700 5000 500 or visit rainmoney.com to get started now.
Who says you can't have it all with one play?
I got that defined boy. You have just won yourself.
Congratulations.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Meltus. One player, don't talk to two players because you won 20K.
So now you won yourself 20,000 naira. My name is Well Done. Okay, well done. You want to tell you, well done, you won yourself 20,000 naira.
With 500 naira, you can play to win big. From 120,000 naira to 190,000 naira daily on Nigeria Info. Go to oneplay.ng and play with 500 naira. And in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. Or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Win daily on Nigeria Info. 50,000 naira on Morning Crossfire. 60,000 naira on WhatsApp Lagos. 20,000 naira on Sunnyside. And 60,000 naira on Game On. So Lagos, what are you waiting for? The more you play, the better your chances of winning. Remember to dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18.
Meals have a way of taking us on a journey. And when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of North seasoning cubes, even better.
So, go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
I wanna be as strong as Captain Amazing. I'm with amazing day cereal, that is what I'll be. I've got strong bones, sharp eyes. I'm an amazing day, so that's right. I'm with amazing day cereal, that is who I am.
Now tell me what you need.
Amazing day cereal.
Golden Penny Amazing Day cereal. Nurture them for the future.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids the new Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
Chinedu! Don't worry, Ma. He'll be home on time, just like his dad. I'm cooking their favorite jollof with Sonia tomato mix. They are here.
Hey, is that jollof ready?
Right on time. Your loved ones will always rush home. Tasty meals prepared with Sonia tomato mix.
It's so good eating together with a family.
Yes, Ma. Sonia tomato mix brings you together. Proudly Nigerian.
Are you tired and run down? Wellman and Wellwoman from Vitabiotics UK provide your one-a-day tablet with all the benefits for healthy living.
Wellman has been specially developed for men to maintain general health and vitality.
Wellwoman is a blend of minerals and vitamins at optimal levels, specifically designed for busy modern women.
Make a healthy change today with Wellman and Wellwoman. Available in all good pharmacies nationwide.
Mommy, my teacher said 90% of my brain will develop by the time I am 5.
Really? What else did she say?
She said I need iron in my food for my brain to grow well.
Oh, very true. And that's why I give you Cerelac Junior every day, which provides half of your daily iron needs.
And Cerelac Junior tastes so good.
Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
He done of trading himself. James, hello.
Susan, I beg. Say you the wine me.
For where? You who no longer depend solely on your salary.
So you people trade and don't carry us along in this office, Abby?
Jerry, now you they talk like this. Who doesn't want an extra stream of income? But I'm still looking for better trading conditions, I beg. Fast execution of my trades and possibly an account where swap no go carry all my profits where I don't know.
Guy, HFM.com.
For me, I wouldn't mind better spreads at all, and it won't be a bad idea to be able to make withdrawals in a flash.
All we want is transparency and great customer service.
Guys, I said HFM.com.
Which one is HFM.com again?
Switch to HFM today to enjoy ultra-fast execution, 1 to 2,000 leverage, tight spreads, swap-free, and more.
Guy, show us the way now.
Wait, are you sure deposits and withdrawals are sharp?
I said
HFM.com.
Visit www.hfm.com. HFM, online trading at its finest.
When I see people switching off data services on their phone, I'll be like, guy, life is not that hard. With Density, you can get 1 gigabyte data for as low as 200 naira. Yes, 1 gigabyte for 200 naira or even less. On Density, you can also pay for electricity and utility services, cable subscriptions for DSTV, GoTV, StarTime, and so on. And you can also buy a scratch card for examinations like WAEC, NECO, UTME, and so on. Density is your all-in-one VTU and internet payment platform. Visit www.dancity.ng.com or search Density on Google. That is DANCITY. To enjoy cheap data with fast and affordable internet payment, you can also download Density on Google Play Store to enjoy all of this and more. Density. Connect more, spend less.
To cook correct food, they always give me joy. That's why anytime where they cook like this, they always season them with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatasheo, shombo, onions. No one will know they put. Now he make my pikin them, they always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You see? Sama all your food with correct vegetables. Come season them with no cubes for that to get delicious taste. Today, chop better.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. This is your number one station.
99.3.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. Lagos is still the morning crossfire 99.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Kofi Bartels. Still with us, Comrade Oluwafunmilayo. Sesi-Akinsanmi as the chairperson of the Nigeria Labour Congress in Lagos State. We're talking about the private sector and the new national minimum wage, and she gave us a breakdown of at least an idea of what led to Labour demanding for 615,000 naira per month as a minimum wage. And when I calculated the little she gave us, talking about feeding and accommodation, she didn't even didn't add the transportation she talked about and other expenses. We didn't put a figure there. It's even more than the 615,000 naira that organized labor is asking for per month. Now she says 1,500 naira for a 3 square meal feeding per day for a family of 6. If you put that by 30 days in a month, that amounts to 270,000 naira per month. Accommodation for a family that stays in a room and parlor, let's say they're paying 40,000 per month, 12 months, that amounts to 480,000. Okay. Oh, 40,000 per month. Sorry, I made it for it. I'm sorry about that. So that amounts to 200 and 300 and oh, I made a mistake. 310,000 naira. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. 310,000 naira. Okay, sorry about that. 310,000 naira. Man, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. So I'm sure if you added transportation and other expenses, that's how you came to the six.
Education of the children, transportation.
School fees, okay. How much are you putting as school fees, ma'am? Let's just get the numbers out there.
Yes, school fees we are putting up for 4 children.
Mm-hmm.
We are putting roughly about 100,000 naira.
Okay, per month. Okay.
Yes.
That's private
Because
school.
we have to spread it.
Yeah. Well, that's government school.
We pay in bulk per session.
Okay.
So we have to spread it.
Okay.
For 4 children.
Okay, that's for government school, probably.
Yes, because if you are talking about private schools, we know how much we pay in private schools.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that is 100. Then how about transportation? How much are you putting there per month?
Transportation, we put about 44,000 naira.
Per month, okay, 44,000. Is that enough? Okay, let's just keep it at that. And then other expenses like paying your tax, paying your tithe, buying sweets, other things. How much you put the other expenses? Can you give us a figure?
Well, it's just a rough estimate that I'm putting, but I have to look at it again to be sure I will not quote.
Okay.
I should give you the exact figure.
Okay, madam. So far, adding everything, feeding, accommodation, school fees, transportation, it all comes down to 454,000 naira.
It was 617,000.
Okay, but your calculation is 617. My calculation
617, but when the negotiation started, we also started negotiating, and then there will be, that's what we call bargaining power.
Collective bargaining. Okay, all right, but my calculation here is 454,000. That's 270,000 naira per month for feeding.
There are other things. I will get, as time goes on. I'm already searching.
All right.
I will bring out all the figures.
Okay. 0201 277 0993. Sorry about that. 0201 277 0993. 0201 277 1993. 0201 277 2993. 0201 277 3993. You can call right now. Madam, before we went to break, I asked for the sort of an explanation. Say I'm a junior lecturer at a university. I earn 150,000 naira per month, and then the national minimum wage is set for, let's say, 70,000 naira per month, for instance, 70,000 naira per month, or any figure you choose. All right, you choose to use in your calculation. How much will I be earning after the national minimum wage? Is there a way to know?
Well, I will also do a very rough estimate of that.
Okay.
Because that 150 was based on the 30,000 naira minimum wage. So then the indices that we use to calculate the salary, you also calculate some of these, like the rent, you calculate the rent, you calculate transportation, you calculate feeding, you calculate they've already consolidated the salary by adding the leave allowance every month. Let's say your leave allowance is 80,000 naira in a year. So they will prorate it for 12 months, and then they will be adding it to your salary every month. So that's the consolidated salary. They will also look at, if you are a management level staff, they will look at some other I've forgotten how we call it now.
All those allowances.
All those, thank you very much. I was looking for that word, allowances, that will be paid. So those are the indices. So if at 30,000, we were receiving 150,000 naira. So we now, based on whatever that they will agree on, you know that there will be a tremendous improvement. Even if it is 70,000, it will improve, it will increase. But it will still not be commensurate with the economic reality on ground. That money, as it increases, when you look at the purchasing power, it will still reduce because the prices of the goods and services has also increased seriously.
All right. I see. So is it is this a minimum wage? Is it a basic or it includes every other thing?
Minimum wage is the basic.
Basic. Okay. So it's going to affect only your basic, not your transport allowance.
That's the lowest person, the lowest ranking cadre.
Okay.
We take the minimum wage.
Okay.
If it's level 1, we take the minimum. It's 70,000. Yes, fine.
That's the basic.
But whether they are junior or they are senior, we go to the same market. We purchase the same thing. If they want to buy NEPA light in their house, it's still the same rate they will pay. They will not look at them as a junior worker. You understand? If they want to buy meat, at least they deserve a better life too. If they want to buy meat in the market, it's the same one. If you are buying 10,000 naira and they too they want to buy 5,000 naira, you still see the rate. You understand? It's the same market. If they want to buy pepper, tomato of 2,000 naira, it's the way you buy your own 2,000 naira that they will also buy their own 2,000. So they also deserve a living wage.
Okay.
Or a decent wage.
So if the basic of this worker, when you take away transport allowance, housing allowance, and other allowances that make up the entire salary, if you take away those things, and let's say he's left with 100,000 naira, and the national minimum wage is increased from 30,000 to 60,000 naira, his is 100. That's 100% increase. Does it then follow that he will now have his 100,000 basic increased by 100%?
Exactly, that is what it means.
Okay, all right. So the other ones now are left in negotiation, like the transport, housing, and other ones, are left in negotiation. That's not affected at all.
Everything is going to be affected.
Okay, everything. Okay, so
yes.
so about
because
any
the rate as the minimum wage goes up, so also it will affect all those allowances.
Okay. So if I'm earning 150,000 naira, government increased the minimum wage to 60,000 naira. Should I assume that that's 100% increase? Should I assume that I'm going to be earning 300,000 naira?
And so also think about your tax.
Okay. So anyway, so now let's quickly look at the organized private sector. Some are asking, what is in it for the private sector? Are they part of what is going on? Some people feel that this negotiation is just for government workers. And if yes, how will it affect the private workers?
Yeah, both the public and the private sector workers, we go to the same market, We also source for goods and services the same way. So there shouldn't be any disparity amongst us. It should be the same. Because if you're looking for a better life for those who work in the government sector, those who work in the private sector too, they deserve a better wage. And that is why we are saying that a worker is a worker. Either you are working for an employer, your employer, either they are in the government or they are in the private sector, we should all be on the same page. You understand?
But do the laws specifically say that the private sector must pay the national minimum wage?
Very well. That's what the law says. And that is why the government has brought them into the negotiation. That's why we have the tripartite committee from the government side, from the private side, from the employee. So that's what whatever they come out with as the minimum wage is by law, it's binded by law for any employer.
So if I have a gate man who is not I want to say probably I just hired him, just called, or someone who knows someone who can call me a gate man or a cleaner who may not be should I say a formal sector employee in the organized private sector. This is unorganized private sector. Am I bound to pay my cleaner based on the national minimum wage?
Well, there are kind of jobs that you will do that you are to be given a letter of employment. You know, it depends on your services, whether you are providing the services 8 to 4. You understand what I mean? Hours of work. And also you are doing it maybe Monday to Friday as stipulated according to the law of engagement of employees. So if you are doing that, you are also binded by the same law of engagement. It depends on the kind of services they are rendering for you. If it is a service that we entail them 8 to 4, Monday to Friday, then you have your off day, weekend or twice in a week. Out of 7 days you work 5 days, then you have 2 days off. You do 40 hours in a week. You understand? You do 40 hours in a week. Definitely they are workers. And if it entails all that we are talking about, you give a letter of engagement or letter of employment, you state all these parameters. But it has now even been extended to any employer of labor that have up to 5 workers. You are compelled now to pay the minimum wage. But if you have less than, you know how to still negotiate with the worker.
Okay, all right. So in times past, the observation by some is that because people call the program, talk about private sector and all that, is that sometimes some private sector employers, especially those who are not too big, get away with they don't pay the minimum wage. So they have people, for instance, who they pay less than 30,000 naira today.
Well, all those maybe we call them the small scale enterprises. There are small scale enterprises. There are medium scale enterprises. So some of the time you have said it rightly. Even some of those big multinational companies, some of them they still do anti-labor activities, and that is why we come out to talk about a decent work for people. And if we have reports from people about being cheated or being underpaid, we wage into the issues and we take support for the workers. And the government is the one that is not regulating. There should be a regulatory authority on that. There should be a medium of where people can report, of where people can lay their complaints. You understand? There should be opportunity for people to complain. But if almighty people are, also doing the same thing, how will those in the private sector not get away with it? Right. Some of the state governments, as we are talking, they did not pay the 30,000 naira minimum wage. Yes, sure. And their governors and their states where they even have the means to pay the people. But they did not implement that payment. All right. And by the law, that means that they prove to be above law. But I'm not blaming them. I am blaming the people that are concerned. So if the people, the people are united and with one voice, they can as well also, state it clearly and make a very loud statement that those in the government is either you pay this money because you are bounded by law, or you tender your letter of resignation that I don't know how to run the administration.
Okay, madam.
I cannot provide leadership.
Madam, thank you very much. I want to put a caller through 99.3. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kofi.
Welcome. Very quickly, please.
Good morning to your guest.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
So I want to thank your guest this morning for highlighting a couple of things by what she has been saying since morning. But madam, honestly, many people, especially workers, are really pissed off with the NLC. Pissed off in the sense that what took the NLC this long to put their foot on the ground? This back and forth all the time. They say they want to down tools today. They are in dialogue. Before you know, they just go ahead to work. Things have degenerated to this level, and the average Nigerian is asking, if we have a body like the NLC, the TUC, and they can't put their foot on the ground till this period, how much do we buy things in the market now? And the NLC is just putting its foot on the ground. Why do you have to wait till things degenerate to this level? Why?
Right.
Nigerians are suffering, mourning every day. And it took this while for NLC to come and put their foot on ground.
Thank you very
Many
much.
of us have lost faith in the
Thank
NLC.
you very much.
So I don't really
Thank you very
think
much.
what people are doing now should have been done a long time ago.
Thank you very much. Okay. Madam, you want to respond to that, please?
Yes, I understand your pain. I understand Nigerians' pain. We are all in it together. But we need to give the government a long group. Because if we do anything in a hurry or we do anything that we don't give them the long group, you know what they will be saying. They might also even castigate that it's the opposition that is behind using us or whatever. So, there are some processes and some procedures that will follow. So that by the time the government has taken their luck too far and the labor centers come for them, nobody will be able to, say that NLC or TUC has done the wrong thing.
All right.
So we have given them a very long group.
All right.
And we have already followed the steps
All right.
we needed to do. So
Okay.
we are also giving them May 31st.
Okay. May 31. All right. We have a caller on the line. 99.3, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Kofi.
Welcome. Very quickly, please.
All right. So about the labor thing happening now, well, I don't even know what to say because I'm a copper, youth copper, and now I'm getting paid 33K every month. And the reality, it doesn't make much sense. And also my PPA, now they're not actually paying above the minimum wage. What they just pay is 16K.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So how does it match? How does it correlate when I know my PPA is actually meant to pay above minimum wage?
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Madam, we want to talk about coppers very quickly. We have 1 minute.
What does the copper want?
Is he saying he's not being paid up to the minimum wage?
Okay. Copper, you are serving your father's land, and what they are giving you is stipend.
We love and straight and faith.
But having said that, by the time they agree to a new minimum wage on all sides, tripartite committee,
all right.
I know that the 33,000 naira stipend you are being given is not even adequate since last year to do anything for you.
Okay.
So government should also be thinking of.
All right. But he's serving his fatherland. Quickly, please. The meeting is in a deadlock. If May 31, are you positive that an agreement will be reached before May 31? Please, in 1 minute.
Well, I cannot sit here and give you what will happen, but I know that definitely what will happen is that the labor will retreat back to the house,
all right.
And then they will call all their organs. They will call the neck of the labor centers at the national, in all the 36 states and the center.
All right.
So deliberate, we'll
all right.
reason.
All right.
We'll discuss, and
all
then
right.
we'll take the next line of action.
All right. How much will it land at finally? I know you know. Tell us.
I don't want to say anything, but at least if we could bargain for, let's come to the center. Let's come to the middle of what we.
All right. All right. Madam, thank you very much.
Something reasonable.
All right. Oluwafunmilayo, Sesi-Akinsanmi, Chairperson of the Nigeria Labour Congress. Solidarity forever.
Solidarity.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
thank you for your time, madam. Well, I hope at least you got a bit of an understanding of the issues at play. Want to pay our bills, so hoping that these issues can be resolved quickly. But for me and for you, I'm sure most of you are private sector people, so that's where your interest lies. Let's pay our bills, we'll be right back.
If you get the big dreams to do big things, lonely day with red money. If you get the big dreams to do big things.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.